morning, everybody, on this wonderful Wednesday. We're going to start right in with who is in our pond today. Let's just say good morning to Miriam, Deleza, Ivy, Bronson, Bryson, Scarlett, Maya, Callie, Rogelio, Colby, Colton, Carter, Camille, Kipton, Cheyenne, Anna, and William. And you know what I was doing, you guys? I was looking at all these wonderful names earlier, and I don't think we have anyone who begins with J, and I don't think we even have any friends in our pond who might even have a J in their name, which is very interesting. But I think for this letter of the week, we are J-free. Maybe next week we'll have some that we'll be able to find. We can go on a letter hunt again next week, you guys. And here we go to our calendar. Hello, month of January, or enero. And we know it's still chilly out because we've got some snowmen as our symbols for January. And we're counting hats that you would probably wear on a very, very cold day or on a snowy day. They're called beanies. So let's see how many beanies we're going to count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, what comes after 12? We've been doing a lot of counting this week, you guys. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13. A 1 and a 3 make up our number 13. Let's put it on our calendar now. A funny thing about numbers, you guys, is they're kind of like their very own special pattern. As you get to our first double digit, which is number 10, it's a 1 and then a 0. And if you're counting, you can pretend this wasn't here and you'd go 0, 1, 2, 3. Only they're double digits. So you've got your 10, 11, 12, 13. I wonder, might be coming tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. And if we put our pointer on number 13 and we bring it up here, instead of singing it, maybe today we could just say, there are 7 days in the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we put our pointer back on number 13 and we bring it up, look at that. We are on Wednesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Putting the whole calendar concept together, we can say today is Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. And it's a great day to go over to our little story corner, and we're going to talk about feelings. Because on Wednesdays, we always like to talk about our second step and our feelings and the cards that we talk about hanging up inside our classroom. So here we go. We, of course, have our cast of characters joining us today. All of our friends are here to help us out. And I've got a card I want to show you today before we read our story. It's another card that I can hang up here after we're done looking at it. So, open up your eyes and look at her. we're looking at this picture of a little girl. What does it look like she's doing in this picture? I'm curious. Bet you guys could tell. It looks like she is trying to tie her shoe. It looks like she's got the shoelaces in her hands and she's pulling on them and she's working hard. But if you look at the way her face looks, like we do with all of our second step cards, you can see all their expressions. And look at hers. Does it look like she's smiling? I agree, it doesn't look like she's smiling. Her eyebrows are very down low. Her eyes are looking down low. Her nose is kind of crinkled, and she's got more of a frown on her mouth. To me, it looks like she's feeling a little bit frustrated. And when you're frustrated, you're trying to do something, but you just can't seem to do it yet. I bet you, if she keeps on practicing and working hard, she'll be able to tie her own shoes. But in this picture, she's trying so hard, but it's looking like she's having a hard time learning how to do it. But with practice, I'm sure that she'll be able to tie her own shoe. And you know what? We also talk about certain ways that you can calm down. If you're feeling angry or frustrated because you just can't seem to figure something out, remember, you could always put your hand on your tummy and you can breathe in and breathe out. You can breathe in and breathe out. And sometimes that'll help you. You can also pretend that you have a flower in your hand and you can pretend to smell your flower, and then it turns into a candle and you can blow out your candle. Smell your flower, blow out your candle. And those are certain ways that can kind of help you calm down if you're feeling frustrated. And the more and more she practices tying her shoes, pretty soon she'll be able to do it like a pro. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to put this card down and I'm going to hang it on our wall of feelings a little bit later. And I've got a story we're going to read today about a little boy who feels frustrated. And he's just having a horrible, awful, terrible day. And nothing is going right for him. And you know what? Sometimes everybody has days like that. Sometimes there are just days that everything seems to go wrong. And that's what happens in our story, Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And the lady who wrote this, her name is Judith. She wrote the words. And the man who drew the pictures, his name is Ray. He's the illustrator of Alexander and the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. If you look on the cover, you can already tell Alexander is not feeling so hot. He's looking a little frustrated and a little grumpy, and he's not even out of bed yet. Let's see what happens. Here he is, waking up. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running. And I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. See, kind of like the little girl trying to tie her shoes. He's already getting frustrated because things just aren't going his way. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box. And Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I am going to be carsick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Miss Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Nothing's going his way today, you guys. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend, and that Albert Moyo was his next best friend, and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone, and the cone part lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds. And Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? Oh boy. It looks like Alexander's mom accidentally forgot to give him a special treat. And boy, oh boy, he is feeling looks like he's a little bit sad and frustrated about it. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot. And while we were waiting for Mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy. And then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. Oh, and look at now, he's really feeling frustrated, because sometimes when you really feel frustrated, you just either clench up your fists or you just put your hand on your head, and he says, I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copy machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was so careful as I could be, except for my elbow. He also said, don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner. I hate limas. There was kissing on TV. And I racing. Oh, he's making a face like, yuck! Nothing is going my way. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain. And I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse light burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says some days are just like that, even in Australia. So there you go. So sometimes we all get frustrated. Sometimes we all have a terrible, very horrible, no good, bad day where everything just seems to go wrong. But I betcha there are more good days where everything is positive. Keep smiling. Bye.